Hey, welcome back to Kappa League TV. I'm your host, John Marshall Jones. And again, we're part of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity's Guide Right program, which was founded in 1922. We are the oldest and most successful African-American male-led mentorship program in U.S. history. And each year, we mentor over 7,000 young men of every ethnicity and around the globe. So we are literally a global force to good. And today we present how the military can pay for college with an extraordinary, talented list of guests from all branches of the military. And some of these opportunities you're going to see today are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. So let's jump right in here to see our panel. We have a really distinguished panel, which we begin with Major Tara Cotton, who is a graduate of Howard University. And we're also going to look at Lieutenant Commander Koa Thomas, who is a graduate of Hampton University. And of course, my fraternity brother, Lieutenant Colonel Dan Sparks, also a graduate of Howard University. How's everybody doing today?
Outstanding.
Wonderful.
Great. Well, listen, we like to start with a lightning round. We call this the rocket round, where we're going to ask you some questions where you give us some quick answers. You only got 10 or 15 seconds, but it's going to tell us a little bit about who you are. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
Ready.
All right. So, Major Cotton, what high school did you go to, and what was your high school mascot? You got 10 seconds.
I went to Pasco-Shan High School, and we were the Pirates.
Okay. What city was that in?
Pasco-Shan, Mississippi.
Pasco-Shan, Mississippi. Sound like a town with one road and one stoplight and one stop sign. So I'm glad you made it out here. Could come out here and hang with us. Lieutenant Commander Thomas, what was your high school and what was your mascot? 10 seconds.
My high school was Friendly High School in Fort Washington, Maryland, which is about 20 minutes outside of D.C. And our mascot was the Patriots.
All right. Colonel Sparks, what was your high school and what was your high school mascot? 10 seconds.
I went to West Catholic Boys High School in Philadelphia, and our mascot was the Birds.
All right. So now, second question. Commander Thomas, who was your best friend in high school and what did you like most about them? 15 seconds.
So my best friend in high school was Dola. She's actually still one of my best friends today. She was actually one of my bridesmaids in my wedding last year. I liked most about her. We had similar personalities. We both liked to laugh. We both liked music. We were in the band together. And like I said, we're still lifelong friends.
All right. And Major Cotton, who was your high school best friend and what did you like most about him?
My high school best friend was Jaleesa. We're actually still best friends today. Best thing about her was probably getting to wear the same shoe size since we had similar tastes in sneakers. So that and playing basketball.
All right, so let's go on to our third and final question. Colonel Sparks, your best friend, were they surprised when you told them you were joining the military? And if so, why? 30 seconds.
No, my best friend at West Catholic was Jethro Young, and we walked into the Marine recruiting station together, and we both enlisted. So he went in before me. I went in about a year after him, but I stayed in for a career. So no surprise at all.
Oh, great. Commander Thomas, your best friend was Jaleesa. Was Jaleesa surprised when you joined the military? And if so, why?
Dola was surprised because I did not have I guess it wasn't a thought, right? So I had family history of military service, but I was kind of a high school student that did a lot of different things. I was a cheerleader. I ran track. I was on a step team. So military necessarily wasn't what I always thought about doing. But when the opportunity arose for a scholarship, I couldn't say no.
There you go. So Major Cotton, I guess your best friend was Jaleesa. And was she surprised when you told her you were joining the military? And if so, why?
Yeah, actually she was surprised because I was already in college when I decided to join ROTC. And I didn't necessarily need the money up front. So I think she was surprised saying, why did you go to college and then turn around and join the military? But at the time, we didn't know what it would mean to earn a commission. So.
Okay, well, I guess we can get right into our presentations. And I would ask you, Major Cotton, just to follow up, you were already in college. Why did you decide to join the military?
Well, I miss being a part of the team. I went to college in South Carolina. I wish that I had gone to Howard University. I teach there now, and I love it. So we're a bit of a party school down in South Carolina. So I was doing probably a lot of the not great stuff, right? Trying to stay out of trouble. I was looking for a team to be a part of, and I found ROTC, and I realized who I wanted to be and what I wanted to be a part of.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I've been looking over some of the stuff, and the United States Air Force really has a great ROTC program, and they offer a lot. Why don't we start with a video, and then you can introduce yourself to the audience and let them know what the Air Force can do for them.
Absolutely.
Some of you may be wondering, why are you waking up at 5 a.m.? Why are you studying harder than your peers in college? Why are you standing in front of the mirror turning right and left? Why are you doing this? There's not one reason: education, job, or lifestyle. It doesn't matter to someone you pass in the halls, but it should matter to you. It matters to us. In your first days at this det, you learn our motto: strength through diversity, building a legacy. Our circumstances are unique, but this detachment, our detachment, is unique. We have a legacy. We're as old as the Air Force, formed in 1947. In a time where men and women of color were being openly oppressed, our women were breaking ceilings. Literally. Many Tuskegee Airmen got their start here. We've had generals, commanders, Thunderbirds, and a vice chief of staff. We're the most diverse detachment in the country, with cadets from every state, of every race, ethnicity, religion, and creed. We don't even all go to the same university, but we were all on the same team. It takes a certain type of person willing to be a cadet. We're the same as our peers, but fundamentally different. We understand that there's a bigger picture, and we're willing to serve. You will be tested. It will be hard. You may think about quitting. Don't. Push. No matter how tired, preoccupied, or demotivated you are, push. Push for yourself, your family, for those who came before, for us. AS 100s and 200s, you are that legacy. In 3 or 4 years' time, you'll look back and know why you did it, why it was worth it, why you stayed, and what you learned. And you'll pass it on. Aim high, that 130.
So I'm Major Cotton. I love that video. That's actually a video that our cadets produced at Air Force ROTC at Howard University. So right now I am a professor of aerospace studies, and I'm also the operations officer at Howard University for the ROTC program. So the stuff I want to talk about today is the ROTC, the Air Force ROTC program, and specifically the scholarships and how you can join if you're interested. All the stuff I'm going to talk about is relevant to all of ROTC, but I am going to brag on our detachment when I had the chance. So we can start the slide when you're ready. Yeah, so in general, the idea behind Air Force ROTC is we're going to take you from being a normal student, well, hopefully not a normal student, an exceptional student, to becoming a second lieutenant in the Air Force or the Space Force. So I'm going to throw that at you guys today. We are the entryway to become an officer in the Space Force right now. So we're looking for folks of great character who want to serve their nation and be a part of something bigger. And we're going to give you opportunities to develop leadership skills, embracing our core values of integrity, service, and excellence. And then hopefully we're going to push you to your full potential as a cadet and help you transition into a second lieutenant in the Air Force. So I'm going to talk about kind of how we do that. So next slide. So as a high school student, you're looking at about a 4-year program, right? The first 2 years of the program, we're teaching you about the Air Force and the Space Force, teaching you what we do and how we do it and why we're the best. And in that second year, you're starting to compete. You're deciding, hey, is this something I really want to do with my life? We're helping you look at careers. We're helping you meet folks and network and decide, is this what I want to do? If so, and you're selected to do so, you'll go forward. And after the most fun you'll ever have, and that you'll never want to have again, in about 2 weeks down in Maxwell, Alabama, you'll come back to us as a member of the Professional Officer Corps, at which point we'll contract you and you'll start to be a leader in our program and help develop the folks who came before you. So next slide. So what does it look like when you're a cadet in our program? Ultimately, you're going to have to do PT twice a week. You're going to go to an aerospace class where it's an academic class. It'll help you towards your degree plan. And you'll go to leadership lab, which is your hands-on training. That's where you're doing leadership projects and you're doing the practical military training. You're getting to speak to folks from all over the country who come down to help groom you and grow you and answer those questions, network for you, and mentor you. Next slide. So what do you have to do to be a part of our program? Well, you got to be a full-time student. You got to have at least a 2.5 GPA, and you got to follow our core values, right? We don't expect you to be perfect, but it's that pursuit of excellence that we're looking for. If you're a person of high moral character, you want to be a part of a team, and you want to grow and be a leader, that's who we're looking for. You don't have to cut your hair right away when you join our detachment, right? We understand what it means to have that personal identity and to want to grow and become the person that we want you to be in the military. So we let you try us out. We want to break down those barriers and really embrace the diversity of everyone out there and make sure that this is something that you like before you have to commit to it. So we're looking for folks who are growing and ready to be a part of our program. And then everybody wants to know the fitness requirements, right? So right now it's the same as the active duty physical fitness test. The Air Force actually just changed its test this year, but we're going to still do the 1 minute of push-ups, 1 minute of sit-ups, and a 1.5 mile run. So, and you'll get plenty of opportunities to get really great at that because, hey, guess what? Our program comes with a little bit of extra personal training at least once a week. So that's what we like to say. Next slide. So how do you earn a scholarship, right? You want to talk about paying for school. As a high school student, you have a bunch of opportunities to really earn scholarships with us. At my detachment here, because we're in the DC area, we actually interview more than 180 students a year for high school scholarships around the country. Last year, of the 160 that I interviewed, 70 were selected for scholarships. So that interview process is so huge. So that's really what I want to talk to you about. The high school scholarship, to be qualified for it, you got to have at least a 3.0. There's minimum SAT and ACT scores of 1240 and 26. You have to take and pass the physical fitness assessment. The reality is you don't have to pass it, but if you want to show that excellence, right? So definitely work on it, be ready for it, and get that passing grade. And then the most important part of the interview, of the scholarship process, is the interview. You'll interview with somebody like me, either virtually in person. And this is where it's your chance to really tell us about yourself. Who are you? What are your values? You know, what is it that you want to be? What do you want to gain from being a cadet in an ROTC program? And how are you as a leader? Who are you as a leader? What have you done that shows leadership and character? And your ability to expand upon that is exactly what we're looking for. Those are the things that I'm looking for when I interview a student, and decide whether they're the right fit for us in terms of earning a scholarship. So we have 3 types of scholarships. The first is a type 1. That's 100% tuition and fees at any public or private institution. The second type of scholarship pays up to $18,000 per year. It's further capped at $9,000 per semester. Those are intended for private institutions. And the last one is a type 7 scholarship, which is 100% tuition and fees, but it's capped at the in-state rate. If you're offered a type 7 scholarship and you want to go to a private institution, you can convert it to a type 2 scholarship. It would just become a 3-year scholarship. So there's something that's not on here and it's not on the website that I want to share with you guys because I know about it. It's the HBCU scholarship. So the Air Force 3 years ago took a look around and said, you know what? We are not meeting the mark when it comes to diversity and inclusivity. So they put their money where their mouth was and they invested in people in the accession pipeline. So what does that mean? It means there is additional opportunity for scholarships if you are a student intending to go to a historically Black college or university or a Hispanic serving institution. Those HBCU scholarships are given out based on merit, right? Based on merit. So what we do is sometimes we give out all the scholarships and we look across the board. And if the Air Force thinks that it's not equitable, that maybe there are some barriers to entry, we take a look at those minimum test score requirements and we make adjustments to make sure that we're getting the right folks and giving everybody the opportunity to succeed. Another great opportunity, if you're a JROTC student out there, if your high school has a junior ROTC program, doesn't have to be Air Force, is what we call the J100 Leadership Scholarship. That scholarship is given out if you've been in a JROTC program for 2 years, and that is 100% tuition and fees plus room and board. So that's a huge scholarship opportunity that's out there. You need a nomination from your JROTC commander. And honestly, that pool is small because that's new. That is one way that we are reaching out to really get great talent into our Air Force. So that is a great opportunity to get your school completely paid for. All of our scholarships come with a cadet stipend. It's about $350 a month, and it grows to be $500 a month while you're in the program. And it also comes with $450 per semester to help you pay for books. Now, if you come into ROTC or maybe missed our deadlines to apply for our high school scholarships, you can earn scholarships while you're in college in our program. So I went to ROTC, I joined my sophomore year, and I was offered one of the in-college scholarships. So all you have to do is be in ROTC for a semester, try it out. Hey, and if this is what you like, if you decide that you love this and you want to pursue this, then we'll offer you a scholarship to stay in the program. At that point, the scholarships are more so based on your performance so far in the program, your GPA, and your physical fitness assessment. And for that scholarship, you don't have to apply. We compete you automatically. So at my detachment, I think I had about 15 eligible students for scholarships last semester, and we were able to put 8 of them on scholarship. The majority being the HBCU scholarship, since we have such a high talent pool here at Howard University, and just outstanding students. And the Air Force is looking for that diversity and that ability to lead groups of diverse people. Next slide. So what does it mean if you get a scholarship? What do you owe us? We've already talked about it. You have to do physical training. You got to be in our aerospace class. You got to participate in Lead Lab. You got to attend that field training. But what about the military service obligations? Oh my gosh, I want to go off. I want to be a senator. I want to be a doctor. I want to go be an astronaut. You can do all those things, right? In fact, we want you to go off and do all those things. But the mandatory requirements once you accept our scholarship and contract with us is that if you enter a non-flying career field, you're going to serve at least 4 years in the Air Force. If you are a combat systems operator, so think about a navigator or remotely pilot aircraft, or an air battle manager, which is a super cool career field that is about coordinating the battle space in the sky. Those are 6 years. And if you're going to be a pilot, it's 10 years, right? Hey, we're not going to spend 5-6 years to train you to be a pilot and then let you run off and do it in the civilian world. So that's kind of the obligation and commitment that you'll have if you accept one of our scholarships and contract with us. Next slide. Yeah, so why join the Air Force or Space Force, right? This is going to be the same for across the services. Your pay is always going to be the same, but as an officer in the military, it's a competitive pay. It's not just you're not going to be struggling, right? We like to let the lieutenants know when they graduate in DC so they can compare with their friends and their peers. You'll be starting out at about $73,000, of which about $30,000 that's not even taxable, right? So huge benefits for after school, huge benefits while you're in our program. You can travel abroad, you can study abroad, you could be a part of the organizations. Our last cadet wing commander was actually the president of her sorority on campus as well. So we have our students play sports. We want them to be athletes. We want them to be friends. We want them to be active in their community, because you're going to take all of that skill, all of that value, and you're going to bring it to the Air Force or the Space Force, and make our service better. And you're going to be the leaders who take over in my place. So that's what I had for the total presentation today.
Okay. Major Cotton, thank you so much. This is a great presentation. And one of the things that I want to keep circling back on is that the opportunity to be able to complete college without debt and move right into a paying position actually sets you up financially to move forward on a quicker path than people who have developed $150,000 worth of debt. So this is a tremendous opportunity. And what we're going to do, Major Cotton is going to jump over into the chat at this point. And if you have any questions about the Air Force ROTC, Major Cotton will be there to answer your questions for you. Again, Major Cotton, thank you so much. What a great presentation.